So the song goes, O Lord, make of me an instrument of your peace. O Master, not to be served, but to serve. So your body as a whole being a form of instrument or instruments. And this seems to run along the same lines when you read what King Solomon said in Ecclesiastes chapter 12. There are also other little songs that talk about the body as a whole. Maybe you've heard that little kind of Sunday school song, "Oh, be careful little hands what you do. Oh, be careful little tongue what you say. Oh, be careful little ears what you hear. Oh, be careful little thoughts what you think. Oh, be careful little legs where you run. There's a Father up above looking down in tender love. So be careful little eyes what you see." So Ecclesiastes chapter 12, because there's various interpretations of this, but you can only give forward one, which you choose to go with, though of course others might differ. And here's King Solomon. He wrote Ecclesiastes and he's pondering life. And now he's pondering the end of a person's life. Way at the end of the life, somewhere around about, the age of man, according to King David, can be 70 years, which is about 70 years. And if by strength, he says, you live longer, then all good and well. So King Solomon writing this, pondering life, pondering the end of a person's life, and going way on into the last days of a person's life, not the last days as in the last days of the end of the world, but the end of a person's life, which to them might even be the end of their life here. So we're going way off into old age. And so he says, his words, not mine, we're in the King James Version of the Bible, Ecclesiastes. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. So you have all of these instruments which should be of God's peace. O Lord, make of me an instrument of your peace. O Master, not to be served, but rather to serve. So what are we doing with the instruments that God has given us? What are we doing with our eyes, our mouth, our ears, our hands, our legs? So remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Now the evil days here are not talking about evil, but the old age, evil days come not. nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So a lot of your avenues of pleasure will of course go with way off into old age and even earlier. Now this is all largely symbolically looking at this. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. You might think that's talking about your eyes, but really, personally, I choose to believe that he's talking about now the sun, the moon, the stars, all of this darkened. Whereas once you'd look forward to a sunny day, you'd go down the beach and run around. Well, not so much fun if you're stood on or sat on the promenade in a wheelchair, just simply looking on and not able to run around the beach no more. The moonlight, give me the moonlight, give me the girl. Well, not so much fun looking at the moonlight and the stars at night when all you're stuck in some old age pension's home looking out the window. Maybe remembering the days when you'd go for a long walk under the stars and so on. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, so the darkened here is gloom, nor the clouds return after the rain. Well, you'd have a nice sunny day and a rainy day, and you'd look forward to a sunny day. but for you the clouds return after the rain. So one thing after another, and more sorrow, largely due to your failing health. So rather than a nice, bright, sunny day after the rain, for you, you're still stuck in your bed, perhaps even. So yeah, pretty gloomy. But this is Solomon pondering life and telling people, look, you have all of these wonderful gifts of God. You have the instruments of God's peace that you can use. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. Oh, be careful, little fingers, what you touch. Be careful, little thoughts, what you think. There's a Father up above looking down in tender love. So be careful, little thoughts, what you think. So, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, or the clouds return after the rain. So one thing after another, and for you, rather than sunny days, the rain has a way of coming back after the clouds, not a nice sunny day. So verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Well, this is the hands. So be careful, little hands, what you do. Whilst you can use your hands to do good, your instruments of God's peace. So be careful, little hands, what you do. So your hands are now trembling and you cannot do so much as you used to do. You can't even hold a cup of tea to bring it to your lips and drink. So while you have these instruments of God's peace, these hands, be careful, little hands, what you do with them. In the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves. Well, that's the legs. Your legs are now not so strong as they used to be, and you have to rest more, or you're stuck in a wheelchair. Pretty gloomy, but this is what happens in old age. And so be careful, little legs, where you run. So in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. But the grinders ceasing because they are few would be the teeth. So you can't now get your teeth into a nice rump steak or sirloin steak, or a nice turkey at Christmas as you used to. And those that look out of the window be darkened, so that's your eyes, you're losing sight. So be careful, little eyes, what you see. There's a Father up above looking down in tender love, so be careful, little eyes, what you see, whilst you still can see. And the doors shall be shut in the streets. Personally, I choose to believe this is the ears. When the sound of the grinding is low, you're losing hearing. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. You don't sleep so well as you used to, and you get up early in the morning. No long, nice lions on a Sunday morning. Because for you, you don't sleep as well as you used to, and you rise with the birds. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Maybe you like to sing once in operas and so on, or you loved to sing songs or even pop songs, but now the daughters of the music are brought low. Your voice is now becoming more harsh and husky. You can't talk or sing as well as you used to. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, you can't climb ladders like you used to because you're frightened of heights. And fears shall be in the way. You've seen so much. Maybe you've seen too much life. And you know the harsh realities of the dangers out there, and you don't feel so sure anymore to go out as you used to. And of course, you're not so focused as you used to be. So fear shall be in the way. There's many dangerous roads to cross out there, and you used to ride a bike or drive a car. And now fear is in the way because you're not so sharp as you used to be. And the almond tree shall flourish, well, that's going grey. And the grasshopper shall be a bird. And the grasshopper here, personally, I choose to believe, is the body. The body is now a burden, whereas once you had a bounce in your walk and you'd hop, skip and jump around town, and your body now is so heavily weighs upon you and is a burden. And the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail. So what are your avenues of pleasure? are now not so many. And so your desire fails. What's the use of desiring something if you can't have it? What's the use